10 years ago today, my episode of me winning The Price is Right was aired. And in this video, I am going to explain what was going on in my life, what it feels like 10 years later, just everything in between. I'm going to just talk all about this video that is right here while this light is just like flickering over on me. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy it. So stay tuned if you want to watch and listen for that. And furthermore, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at James Richard Lane or Twitter, James Lane, Lane with two E's, or the Shaky Experience podcast, which is on Spotify and most other streaming platforms. So right here, the video that you see, I guess this would technically be, is this the right of me or the left of me? I don't even know. I don't even know. The video next to my head, next to my face, right over here. Yeah, that's right, is a video of me on The Price is Right. And that video aired on January 14th. January 17th, 2014. Today is January 17th, 2024. So 10 years later, and I look better than I did back then. Like, even just like the intro little shot of me, like right here, you can kind of see like as my fingers like pointing in a weird direction, you can kind of see how I have shorter hair. You'll see in a minute. I have some facial hair, which was an absolute joke. It was a bet between a roommate and I. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's watch a little bit of it, and I'll pause as needed. But we're going crazy. That is me. So what you're seeing here is I just bidded on an item and I won. I won. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. So how I got on the show to begin with was I was living in Los Angeles. I took a Greyhound bus. I took a Greyhound bus from Baltimore, Maryland, my hometown, to Los Angeles, California, with two of my best friends, Mike and Tom. And we found this lady on Craigslist where we lived with her in this room. She had her own room, and then us two guys shared a room together, and we shared this room in Valley Village, right outside of North Hollywood. We were just a block from the Gelsons, I think on Laurel Canyon Boulevard. And our idea, I think our aspirations were to become actors and try to get into like show business and figure it out. But we had no idea what we were doing. We didn't know anybody out there. We just kind of were winging it. And by winging it, I mean, we were just smoking a lot of weed at that time and eating some cheap Safeway pizza. Like, we'd walk over to the Safeway and get some pizza and just play like Grand Theft Auto or something like that. We were absolute bums. We had no idea what we were doing. We were just some silly dudes hanging out. And I remember my friend Mike got us tickets on, I believe it's called One Iota, the number one, and then IOTA on this website, and for Let's Make a Deal. And we showed up at Let's Make a Deal with, again, no idea what we were doing. We just had some uh, vague idea just to show up, and hopefully we would be able to get some costumes, because you need costumes in order to sit in the crowd. And they had an auditioner come up to us and like, come up to us, chat with us for a little bit. We talked about sort of what we were doing, and it was just kind of like, yeah, we're servers, or like we're brand ambassadors, or we're doing like focus groups to basically pay our rent to live in Los Angeles. And I feel like the auditioner was like, these guys are absolutely crazy. Like, what is going on here? And we got in. They gave us these random costumes. Mike was an army man. Tom was like a troll doll thing. And I was a space cadet. I had this like bright orange space cadet outfit. And we get inside, and I had this producer was like pointing at me. He was like looking at me, and I thought that he was going to select me to come on the show. And it didn't come to fruition, unfortunately. I was really disappointed. We saw people come up all day, and I thought that this was going to be a thing, and didn't happen. And after the show, the producer came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, sorry, we were thinking about picking you. However, unfortunately, we had too many guys that sort of look like you, or, we were looking for a different demographic or whatever." So it was heartbreaking. I was really sad. I thought that, I would be on the show. I thought it was going to work out. I thought I was going to win some trips, win some prizes on Let's Make a Deal. I did get to fist bump Wayne Brady, which was really cool. So that felt kind of awesome. But other than that, nothing came to fruition with that. So he encouraged me to come back to CBS Studios, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't know. It sounds cool, but like, what what would I even do?" And he was like, "You should go try out to be on The Price is Right." And that sounded exciting to me because I'd watched The Price is Right as a lot of kids did when they were growing up, whether they have a snow day at school or what have you. And I said, "Okay, maybe we'll see." And I got an email for some tickets to be on the show. Me, Mike, and Tom, we went down to CBS again, and they told us it was going to be about a 9-hour day. Mike jumped out of line. He decided he didn't want to do it. Me and Tom stuck it out, and an auditioner came up to us and he asked me, like, he was like, "Hey man, so tell me a little bit about you." And before I said anything, I high-fived the auditioner. I was like, "High five." And I was like, "Yeah, my name is James, and I'm really fun and energetic and adventurous, and I'm always down to do like crazy cool stuff, and I want to win stuff, and let's go, and writing a book and all this other stuff." And he was like, "Well, would you put this in your book if you won?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he was like, "Okay, well, we'll see what we can do then." And the guy next to me got interviewed and didn't know who he was, and so on. So Tom and I go into the studio, and we're sitting down, and we try to go towards the front row, and the front row people are like, the producers of The Price is Right are like, "Sorry, you guys can't sit up here." And I asked why not, and they're like, "We can't tell you, we're not allowed to tell you." And that gave me this crazy adrenaline rush. I was like, "Holy crap, like what if they're actually going to pick me? What if, like, I actually get picked to come on the show?" And I had this feeling in my body, and they, especially because they wanted us to sit in this like particular location. I was like, "That's interesting. Like, why would they do that? Why would they want us to sit in this like location, like in particular?" And sure enough, we sit down, the lights hit, the music goes on, and it's Drew Carey comes out, the models come out, and everything's happening. It's all this like magic and excitement and all this thrill. And they call down the first person, they call down the second person, and then the third person is James Lane. And I start freaking out. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I'm like, "Holy crap, I just got called to be on The Price is Right. What?" And it was such a big moment for me. It was like a huge moment in my life. And so I run down to the podium, and I'm bidding for the next like few prizes, and I keep on bidding too low, and I'm not sure like what the numbers are. I'm just some young early 20s like guy that just is just so lost and doesn't know anything. Just some dude from Baltimore basically that just has no idea what's going on or what to bid on or what to do. And basically I I then have this girl sitting next to me. I think she was in the Navy or the Army, and she bid $1 over my item, and she went up. And I was heartbroken. I was like, "What the hell?" I mean, I know that's like the go-to that happens with every episode of The Price is Right, but I was like, "What? That could have been me." And it wasn't. And I was like, "No, wow, I really might lose here. I might not get this. This might not actually happen." And it did, because I remember they had this camera. There was like a camera that video camera. I actually still have it. Should have brought it on this stream, but anyway. And they were like, "Guess this prize," and I said $1,000, and I was a little bit off, but I got called up. And this is the video of me getting called up, and I'm standing at the podium, my adrenaline's rushing. I'm trying to think, but I'm really nervous because, I'm on television. I have no idea what's going on. This is just such an unnatural feeling. This is so crazy, right? And of course, I'm wearing the shirt right now the exact same shirt that I was wearing when I was on The Price is Right. So yeah, let's watch this video and see what happens. So this is me after I got called. So basically, I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, what is going on? Holy crap. Oh my God, this is so crazy. What do I even do? What's going on? Ah, and let's watch it. Let's see what happens. There you go, the $1,000. That's me hugging Drew Carey because I don't know what else to do. I just see Drew right there, and I'm just like, "Yay! I'm so glad to be on this show with you. This is so cool." Like childhood me is freaking out right now, and yeah, that's where that embrace came from. He seemed about it. He seemed cool with it. I mostly recognized him from WWE Royal Rumble 2000. So, I didn't watch the Drew Carey show or anything like that, but I was like, oh, cool. This guy from wrestling from back in the day when I was a child, how much I loved wrestling. This is great. Let's go.
Sad. Oh my God. Nice to meet you, James. What's going on? All the way from B-more. I'm from
I'm
Baltimore,
from
Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, Baltimore.
And I didn't know what else to say. I was just so like excited and grateful. I think they cut out a lot of the intro part. I think it was really just me continuously telling Drew how grateful I was and just being like, I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. And he was like, all right, we got to do this. And I was like, okay, sorry. So that's me kind of giving like a little shout, a little wave to Tom, just sitting in the audience. He's like, I don't know. All right.
George, what do we got?
Oh, we're gonna help you travel, James. How about a trip to San Francisco?
San Francisco seemed cool. I've never gone
Lake
to.
Tahoe.
Okay, so San Francisco seemed cool, and I'd never gone to Lake Tahoe. I've never even heard of Lake Tahoe. I've never gone to San Francisco before either. And I will talk more about these trips as we watch the video, actually. Again, just lots of
First,
gratitude.
you and
Lots of
will fly
praise.
a round trip coach from Los Angeles to San Francisco for a 5-night stay in a deluxe room with a city view at the Chance.
So that hotel sucked, by the way. That hotel was not that good. The service wasn't good. The daily food credits were crap. The food there was just awful. I fortunately scheduled the trip around the same weekend as Outside Lands Music Festival 2014. So you can look up the lineup of Outside Lands Music Festival 2014. And that is one of the many things I did when I was in San Francisco. It was wild. Probably the highlight of that trip was meeting some random girl on a bus, me and my friend Adam, and she took us to this like crazy speakeasy bar that was kind of like a detective bar and had like this secret bookcase, and like we went through it. That was really cool. That was a really good experience. So I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. Seeing the Killers, Arctic Monkeys, Licky Lee, just a lot of cool things happening in San Francisco. That was pretty neat. Coit Tower, walked around sort of the Chinese markets, and of course the Golden Gate Bridge. So all the touristy things, two 24-year-olds just being really young and goofy and stuff. So yeah.
Hotel, a charming boutique property overlooking Union Square.
My friend Adam
One
is still
$50
hungry.
dinner credit included. Plus, cruise out to Alcatraz Island after dark for a guided evening tour.
The Alcatraz Island thing never happened because it was overbooked. So we ended up doing this other tour, this like boat ferry thing where we went underneath the bridge and we got to snap some photos. That was really cool. That was awesome. Would have loved to have done Alcatraz, but that never actually came to fruition.
And second, you and a guest will
never
fly
heard
a
of
road
it.
trip coach from Los Angeles to Reno.
Okay, so that's Emerald Bay. We took a trolley, Tom and I, we took a trolley up to the top of this mountain, and that was like the overlook. It was so amazing. He rock climbed a lot down there and he almost died. It was like a really scary experience. It was really dangerous, but really fun. He lived and we had drinks afterwards. Really good experience.
Nevada, and head to Lake Tahoe in your rental car for a 5-night stay.
Okay, so Reno, Nevada. Yes. So again, I was 24 when I took this trip. I think it was July 2014, maybe June 2014, actually, is when I took this trip. and rental car, we weren't able to get it because neither of us were 25, and apparently you need to be 25 to get the car. So it was a total waste. I never got the car. We had to take these shuttle buses from like the airport Lake to like South Tahoe or whatever, and then we stayed at the Lake Tahoe Resort Hotel. The manager Bill was a pretty funny guy. I don't know, he was kind of a character. He was just like the most like straight laced dude ever, and he was just like, it felt like he was annoyed that there was just like these two young 24-year-olds that had no idea what they were doing just stay there. We spent a lot of time in the hot tub there. We got a lot of drinks. We just had like such an experience at Lake Tahoe. There was also a $500 credit of golf. So got to play some golf, and I didn't have the rental car. So I actually hitchhiked I put my thumb out in front of a grocery store in, like right outside of our resort, like a block or two from our resort. And some drunk guy picked me up, and it was really dangerous. I was actually really scared for a little while. I was like, what am I going to do? This guy's like wasted. And it turned out his name was Tom as well. So I actually invited him to play golf with me. And we spent like 3 hours just like playing golf at this uh, golf, yeah, this golf court or whatever course, excuse me. And it was interesting. I beat him, and then he bought me some drinks. And then Tom and I finished watching just people watching at the resort, which was such a vibe. We saw this guy Fabrizio, and Fabrizio was hilarious. I don't know, he's just such a character. It was a good experience.
In a premium suite at the Lake Tahoe
That bed
Resort
was so
Hotel.
comfy. That bed
This
was so
all-suite,
comfortable.
full-service
That was
hotel is
awesome.
located in the heart of Tahoe. Daily breakfast and golf tickets included.
All right, great. Game is called
All right,
One Right
great.
Price. We got the
There's
trip
me,
to San
just
Francisco over there
super
by
skinny because I can't afford food because I'm so poor and I'm just a server in Hollywood / brand ambassador and putting all my money towards rent. So skinny me, mustache was a beard. I had a beard, and that day that I was on The Price is Right, I shaved the beard like right before coming there, and I was gonna shave the mustache, and then my roommate Mike convinced me not to, and we hopped in a Lyft. I believe, on our way from, I guess, Valley Village, North Hollywood to CBS Studios. And when we were in the lift, they told me my mustache was crooked, but there wasn't a razor. So there was nothing I could do. I was just so confused. I was like, what am I going to do? And I just kind of stuck with it. And I think it's the silliest, dumbest mustache ever. I hate facial hair in general. I hate having facial hair. I've always hated having facial hair. Never liked facial hair. I have a clean cut face now, as you can see, and I have a mustache in this video. So it's just kind of silly that it is that way.
beautiful Amber, the trip to Lake Tahoe over there by beautiful Rachel, and in between, gorgeous Aisha Tyler.
I know.
Yep. So Aisha Tyler, I had no idea who she was. I just thought she was really pretty and she seemed really cool. So I was like, yeah, I know. She's awesome. She looks cool. I want to meet her. Can you introduce me? That was what I was thinking. And also she had a cool sweater on too. So I was like, why not?
$3,267. She has a price tag there.
Okay,
3,000.
so for this, I have to choose which one is the right price. Is it Tahoe? Is it San Francisco? I actually thought it was San Francisco because I'm pretty sure San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities in America. So I was going to go with San Francisco, and then the whole crowd was like Tahoe, Tahoe, and I was like, Lake Tahoe, and we'll see what happens.
267. Is that the price of the trip to San Francisco or the trip to Lake Tahoe?
I'm gonna go with Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
I'm going to go with Lake Tahoe.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
1, 2, 3, send them out. Let's see it.
Boom.
Boom, you got
Yeah, just freaking out. Like, I can't believe it. Thank you so much, Drew. Thank you. Say hi to these ladies. I guess we'll hug them. I don't
it.
know.
Very nice trip.
Hi, Aisha Tyler. Nice to meet you. I'm going to just one shot of you right now. And then we'll just say mode. Boom. And that is me winning The Price is Right. So 10 years later, January 17th, 2024, as today. And then January 17th, 2014 is when the episode originally aired. I won the Price is Right. The trips were amazing. And yeah, it's just such a great experience. I'm so glad for it. I'll tell a little other story really quick before I close out this video. Is I went home that night and I partied and it was so crazy. And my roommate at the time, I will not say their name, I won't say any information about them, but my roommate at the time, they tried blackmailing me for my prizes because they were like they failed within the actor actress sort of sphere. They weren't able to accomplish what they wanted to. I think they were behind in bills or something like that. And they told me that they were going to contact CBS Studios unless I gave them my prizes, like my trips and my money. And I think I won like around like $10,000. I kept the Canon camcorder and the trip to San Francisco and the trip to Lake Tahoe. And I said, no, of course not. I'm not doing that. So I decided to move out. I moved to, where did I move to? I moved to like this place by UCLA for like a few nights. And then this guy was like freaking me out. Just some guy I met on Craigslist. Meanwhile, I had to contact CBS to let them know that my previous roommate was just all this crazy nonsense, all like threatening me with this like weird stuff that they wanted my prizes or whatever. And that was super strange. And I had to have a conversation with someone from their legal affairs department and to make sure that everything was okay and there wasn't going to be any problems. And it all worked out, fortunately. It all worked out. Funny enough, I actually have seen this roommate that caused those problems in different commercials since then. And I find it kind of funny and endearing from my past a little bit. And yeah, I think that's it. After like stayed with this guy for a few nights or a week or whatever it was by UCLA, I decided to move to Florida. So I moved down from Los Angeles, and I took a bus from Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale, which was insane. That was one of the craziest things I'd ever done because my bus caught on fire. You heard me right. My bus caught on fire. My Greyhound bus caught on fire when I was riding down from Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale. And it caught on fire right in front of Knife City, which was an outlet store for knives in Sun Valley, Arizona. And the fire department came. We had to wait like 8 hours for a rescue bus. It was just like the most insane thing ever. And I was like, what is going on? I made it. I stayed in Florida at a family friend's house for like a month, moved back up to Baltimore. I continued doing acting projects. I played a lot of music, a lot of shows, a lot of concerts with my band projects, which is the Shaky Experience Band, which is available on Bandcamp and Facebook, and then Pelvis Presley, which is my solo project, which is now just James Lane Music. And that's on Bandcamp and Facebook as well. And I moved to Denver for many years, and now that's kind of what I'm doing now is bouncing back and forth from Baltimore to Denver. I'm in podcasting. I absolutely love the podcasting stuff that I'm doing. I've interviewed a lot of really cool people. I have a really big interview coming out very shortly with the lead writer, the ex-lead writer of Mr. Beast, the most subscribed YouTube channel of all time. And yeah, it's cool. Just been focusing a lot on broadcasting, like podcasting and just making cool content. So you can check that out by searching The Shaky Experience on Spotify or most other streaming platforms. And again, you can reach out to me on Instagram at James Richard Lane or Twitter, James Lane, Lane with 2 E's. And one other fun fact about sort of this whole thing is the shirt that I'm wearing in that video, the Price is Right video, and the shirt that I'm wearing now, same shirt. I've already mentioned that before, same shirt. The funny thing about that is I've since ran half marathons in that shirt. So I'm trying to run a half marathon in all 50 states. And I've ran a half marathon in 10 states so far wearing that shirt. And I'm planning on wearing this shirt while running a half in all 50 states. I've already visited all 50 states. Now I want to run a half marathon in all 50 states. So wish me luck. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening in. This is a silly reaction video 10 years later, 10 years later from my win, from my airing on The Price is Right. And yeah, much love. Just so grateful and so glad to have been on The Price is Right.